All right, so I tried to do like a vlog or an update, and it ran so ridiculously long. And I was like, I'm not plugging my phone in for this thing to not upload all night. And then, like sometime Monday's update comes out. Like, so I'm trying to make this short. I was like, I'm not doing a second take. Here I am. So yeah, I started my job. It was really cool. Very nerve-wracking. A lot of brain drain, mental fatigue for learning new things. My preferred method for rapid learning involves my mood stabilizer and anti-anxiety medication, which is currently in short supply due to financial restrictions. And honestly, for priorities, I've got to keep the bills paid. I've got to keep food in my stomach and the cats fed. Gas to get to work, right? What clothes and supplies I need to do my job. So that said, 6 hours, 5:30 to 11:30 today. It was not too bad. Learning how to open a gas station up with a convenience store and kitchen. I'm going to be making some food. Fairly nice people. In short, there are 3 classes that live in this town. There's the locals who related to someone there, born there, lived there, married in, have kids there, whatever. Farmers, a lot of them, a lot of cool people. Then there are the transplants, many of whom kind of use the place as a satellite bedroom community kind of thing. Work in town, live here. Well, not here, but there. And also a lot of folks that move there because it's within a couple minutes drive of the ammunition plant, which is a pretty big employer. Then there's the low-income couple of apartment houses. They got their rentals and such going. A lot of people that are living in this particular small town that are living that way are pretty ratchet, not going to lie. There's going to be thievery from them, and I know for a fact that there's drug issues in the town too, as everywhere. It was just nerve-wracking. I was around more people today than I've been around in the last 4 months in total. By probably twice as many. Just in today, as many people as I've interacted with since February. Due to not having a time card or an application in or anything just yet, I did get paid cash today. The first couple days are probationary period. I was able to put gas in my truck, headed home, saw the cats for a bit, took a nap, ate some food, went into town, hit Walmart up for some canned meat and cornmeal. I'm so excited I got cornmeal finally. There was a whole 20-minute long worth of rant about the virtue of cornmeal gruel as a snack. That is now deleted and into the ether. You're welcome. So I got some necessary supplies. I managed to get what I need to supplement what I already have, and I should be good for no less than 3 weeks as far as meat goes. Actually, I want to say probably a month and a half because there's a ton of Spam. I got to figure out best ways of storing Spam without a refrigerator. A lot of rant about old schoolness and a real definition. It's not, let's get back to a particular era, but let's appreciate the reasons that certain things were done a certain way for certain periods of history. And on that note, I strongly advise, this is not a paid plug. This is just I think you'll like it. Everybody needs to check this stuff out. You've seen like a book called The Old Ways, probably advertised on YouTube ads in between videos or whatever. If you can find a copy of that book, I'd say probably get it. Some very cool stuff there. Survival is going to become a major thing. As per the long video from yesterday, things kind of, I think the pot got stirred in the meantime. Thing that Mike Flynn said. A lot of the supposed independent commentators, most prominent example would be Tim Pool, a segment he did today about it. For the purpose of not getting his channel deleted, he's pretending that the election was legit. And there was, I don't want to say that he was condescending or mocking of the people that do, but he lumped basically by reading the article and not really refuting or arguing about anything of the framing of the particular parts of the article, kind of made an assumed generalization that it is all conspiracy theorists and QAnon people that believe that the election was not legit. And I don't think that is true. There's a lot of people that obviously got duped into that. And those are the people that are talking about how they want this other president in. The reality is there are, as I said, other races that are possibly questionable. We need to look into the whole process just to be sure at this point. With the news of this thing that Flynn said, just makes it more inevitable that there's going to be some kind of civil war, if not collapse of society of some sort. It's going to get really gnarly for a lot of people in a lot of areas. Really, really thankful I do not live in a metropolitan area, because within a year and a half tops, I think it's going to be impossible to find food because of inflation, if nothing else. There's going to be food riots. There's going to be civil strife. There's going to be us versus them, left versus right, tribal polarized, animosity and violence in just about every locale. So anyways, what I was getting to was, there was a YouTube channel. I've plugged this before, but I'm going to do it again. It's called Townsends. 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 It is a channel devoted to historical recreation of 18th century colonial America, as well as other locales and locations, how they lived. There's a really cool one about the conquistador apothecary, the kind of medicines that the Spanish settlers had. Now, this is not a statement about the conquistadors, good or bad, whether colonization is good or bad. The point is that the people of that time period did not have electricity. They did not have refrigeration. They did not have running water. And yet they managed to come up with a lot of basic whole ingredient foods that could be stored for extended periods, allowing survival through a harsh winter, means of making the best of a bad drought, etc. And in general, just living a little simpler. And that is really what I mean by old school, is simple living. And to quote the Shaker hymn, "'Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down where we ought to be." So, the simpler you live, the easier it is when all the complicated stuff vanishes. And if you refuse to prepare for such a thing, you find yourself in a position of great suffering. So if you have family, if you have, desire to live your life with any kind of contentment or happiness, the best thing you can do is learn to live more simply. So yeah, I covered just about all of it there. Oh yeah. Received a text from my buddy. He asked how my day went with work. I told him, and I said, hey, by the way, this thing with Flynn, I'm not trying to be alarming or whatever, but I mean, nothing's getting better. I don't think anything's going to get better. If you're not stocking up for non-perishable food supplies, you better be getting on that. And as I was typing that message, as I'm even speaking this now, the thought of it is causing my lymph nodes to swell a little bit. But here's the cool thing. I took a multivitamin. I could not remember if I took one in the morning or not, so I went ahead and took another one. Dug out a bottle of cranberry juice from 2018 that's still perfectly good because it was sealed. I've now got about a week to drink it before it goes bad. Reminds me with this other bottle of cranberry juice I have, and a packet of yeast that since I've got sugar, I may decide to try and make some homemade wine. I think that'll be fun. What I'm getting to is the stress of dealing with people is a bigger threat to my immune system than the worry of personal survival or that of my cat babies. And it really bothers me. It angers me that the situation is that way. I can't really blame people for it because you can't blame an idiot for being stupid. So, as with the time I got let go from the local factory bakery, gosh, what has that been? 18 years? I'll go about 15 years. I think I was there about 3. Really bad end of a relationship, infidelity, somebody got pregnant, wasn't mine. Rapid move out, all this other stuff. We're past it. She and I are able to be civil and friendly. But the point being that the stress of it, the worry and the bother, caused me to get sick. And in getting sick, caused me to point out of my job. Today was my first day. Tomorrow is my second day. And I'm guessing I'm probably not back on until Friday or Saturday, because the talk is about me filling in on some weekends for somebody that already works like 4 jobs. And so I'm hoping that I can kind of keep this under control. And so here's the interesting thing. During the time that I recorded this almost hour's worth of speaking on some of these topics, I was able to relax myself to the point that this tightness under my jaw relaxed as well. My lymph nodes are hard right now, but they're not swollen like they were just an hour and a half, 2 hours ago. So I've got more than my daily dose of vitamin C. I've got this multivitamin. I've had some corned beef hash. The last thing I want to say on this video, I think it was probably one of the first things I said on the original, is part of the reason that, and I think I may have already mentioned it briefly at the beginning, I can't remember. I'm so tired, I'm about to go to bed. The problem with isolation for long periods is that you are immune to any microorganisms or illnesses or whatever that may be present in, your house if you're all by yourself. But anybody else that comes to visit may not be. And anyone you go to visit may be in, contact with something that you have not become immune to. So having interacted with, I'm pretty sure I said at the beginning of this video, having interacted with about double the number of people just today as I've interacted with in the last 4 months. It was very anxious. It was very stressful. And on top of that, while I have been keeping active and healthy, and my immune system is about as good as it can be right now, I've not been around other people enough to, who knows? Maybe I picked something up I'm normally good at handling, just being out and about. Maybe it was something that was already there, but the stress of thinking about how futile it seems to be to try and counteract or avert this coming cataclysm. I'm not saying, oh, God showed me a vision. I'm not saying any. I'm just going by my own deductive reasoning, my own views of things. I don't watch news networks. I don't watch Fox. I don't watch OAN. I damn sure don't watch CNN or MSNBC. I do not watch the news. I research into topics that are brought up in headlines because I know that most news has a framing or bias. And so I don't automatically believe things because somebody with a widespread voice says so. Or, for that matter, because somebody with an authoritative stance says so. Whether the authoritative is because you're part of the club or because you've got some sort of college degree, regardless of how intricate or time-consuming such a degree is. Because here's why. If I was not isolated, but I was still seeking work and a way from money, and I get into this new situation in a new town full of people and whatever, it's possible the stress and anxiety would not cause this lymph node reaction as my body attempts to deal with something that it had previously been able to handle no problem, apparently, but then the stress makes it a little more. Hence the vitamin C, hence the multivitamin. But here's the thing. This was the #1 red flag when they started going into lockdown mode a year ago. Well, a year and a couple of months when it started talking about it, about the point that I bought my rifle, about the point that I really started checking out my stores, making sure everything was good in the prep supply, and to add to it if possible. Being away from people weakens your immunity to new diseases. The whole thing with kids and masks is ridiculous. Kids become immune to things by being exposed to them. Their bodies are so freaking strong. There's a brief period of like 6 months as an infant that you really got to watch out. And after that, your kid drops their bink on the floor, you go on your pants and you pop it back in their mouth. And they become immune to the bacteria that they picked up from the floor that way. Sanitizing the bink before you put it back in prevents that. It's kind of like if you have the option or are able to do so without it being too painful or too traumatic, to breastfeed a child versus give them formula. Breastfeeding provides them with antibodies from the mother that helps them automatically. It's like a vaccination without a shot or weird chemicals or heavy metals to geek your system into accepting this foreign substance and using it to become immune. Likewise, sheltering in place, treating everyone as if they were sick instead of only the most vulnerable, puts people in this kind of position where a high-stress environment makes them sick from common things that they should be immune to, but because they've not been exposed, it's an issue. So I'm going to cut this short here. I'm going to set this to upload. Who knows when this will go, but I'm going to plug my phone in and go to bed because I have to be up at 4 in the morning to get a shower, drink some coffee, make sure my truck will start, and make my way to work for the second day. Because I've got to earn money. And if I get sick and can't make it to work on the second day in the probationary period, I'm going to guess that job does not keep me. You see the conundrum. All right, so calling it good. This is about a third the length of the total time of the other previous rant, so I'll call take 2 a success. Like I said, check out the Townsends channel. 18th century living is very fascinating stuff. Learn about pemmican. Learn about how to pot meat without a can. It's pretty cool. That fat that I gathered in the jar, I could use that to store meat. Pretty cool. Hope everybody had a good Memorial Day. And my last point is this is not about veterans. Yeah, you can thank a vet if you like, but you should do that on other days. And I don't just mean thank them because they're a vet, but make sure they're doing okay. A lot of them come back with PTSD, and it's not okay. Whether they agreed with what they were doing or not, these people basically serve their country to try and help ensure your convenience, freedom, and entitlement. The least you can do is show some gratitude, make sure that they are good. Memorial Day is all about the people who served and fought and died in the line of duty. I don't personally know anyone, thankfully, that has done so. So I don't have a big, deep message to say other than don't go thinking this is the same thing as Veterans Day. Veterans Day is for vets who are still alive. Memorial Day is for vets who are not. I guess in that respect, my dear old dad, my grandpa. So, I don't know, man. Pour one out. See you guys later.